morning, everybody, and I'm sorry because you never know about the power failure and Wi-Fi failure when it happens. So because of that power failure, I had to switch over to another connection. So I was talking about the Noaxia speed. So since Professor Moni has focused the entire webinar through a series on lantana camera, but beside lantana camera, there are so many weeds as we were talking about. That during our US visit, I found that there was a big rumor. Exactly, that was not a rumor, that was a news in US that United States of America, they imported certain seeds of ornamental plants and certain vegetables. And those seeds were adulterated, or they were having some other seeds which were certainly containing some wheat seeds or some weeds. And the people, they were under apprehension that perhaps the seeds have been mixed along with the seeds required. They might be of nuisance value, or they might have some nuisance, maybe the noxious weed which may harm our agriculture or the production of normal type of crop. So it came to our mind that since we are progressing in technology, the technology of war is also increasing. And beside the weapon war, we are proceeding towards biological warfare, which everybody in the world is witnessing through COVID-19. Nevertheless, there are certain other invaders, certain other weeds which are invading from one country to another, despite the Plant Quarantine Act. Maybe the people, they are fascinated by the attractive flowers, the attractive leaves, the seeds, or any other thing, and they might bring it accidentally or intentionally along with their luggage, and they are grown in the field. Ultimately, they have different types of effects on the soil and the plant and human health as well. They might contain certain allelopathic effect, or they may have the secretion of certain chemicals which may not permit the other crops to grow fairly well. Now, beside lantana camera, I will take just the permission from Professor Moni to just speak for 5 minutes on some other weeds on which some work has been done, and they have been used by the society. Now you can see that, as I told, that there are certain uh, weeds for which, rather than focusing more on the issues which they are causing to the agriculture, we need to focus that how these weeds, notorious weeds, noxious weeds, can be transformed into the opportunity for the tribal community in particular, and for the other marginal farmers of our area. Now, beside lantana camera, I would like to focus just a little bit, not in detail, on Eichhornia crassipes, which is called as water hyacinth, Parthenium styrophorus, which is called as congress grass, and lantana camera, which is called as Raimunia. So now you can see that Eichhornia crassipes, it is a water hyacinth, and once upon a time, this particular plant fascinated the persons because of their fleshy, big leaves and beautiful purple type of flowers. So they brought it to the country and put it on in their ponds or in their kitchen gardens to just have a look on the beautiful leaf structure and their flowers. But with the passage of time, it started multiplying, and it multiplied so much so that the entire water bodies, they were blocked, because it absorbs dissolved oxygen from water bodies. And by absorbing the dissolved oxygen, what happens that the water bodies, they become deficient of oxygen, and the entire flora and fauna which is growing in the water body, that start dying. And Eichhornia, it has a rapid multiplication, and because of rapid multiplication, it covers the entire aerial surface of the pond, causing into eutrophication, means enrichment of organic content into the pond. And by this pond dries up, and it is converted into a small field full of Eichhornia. Very recently, 1.5 years back, there was a commissioner, Mr. Prabhat Kumar, in Meerut when I was over there as Dean biotechnology. So I became a part of that NGO when Prabhat Kumar initiated to clean up Kali River, Kali Nadi, which once upon was a river, but now it was a field full of Eichhornia. So it was no more a river, and the people they were involved, and by their involvement, the entire Eichhornia was taken out, and this Eichhornia was later on converted into biogas production and for certain other reasons for making biological fertilizer and so on and so forth. Now the application, particularly I would like to focus because this particular plant has got shikimic acid, which is a Tamiflu-R or which is a company for antiviral drug, Tamiflu. The aerial part means the leaves of Eichhornia, they contain 0.03% to 2.70% weight by weight, and the methanol can be used for dissolving it, for solving it, and for extracting this shikimic acid. Now, beside Eichhornia, another component in Eichhornia is the phytochemical, which is predominantly present in its leaves. And these phytochemicals, they are antibacterial and anti-cancer in nature. Just for a reference, I can tell you that the antibacterial studies have been carried out on Escherichia coli and Staphylococcus, and anti-cancer activity of leaf extract was tested against breast cancer cell line MCF7. Now, this particular plant Eichhornia was taken up by Worldwide Fund for Nature India, WWF India, and what they did in Punjab, they selected Harrick Wildlife Sanctuary in Taran Sahib district and Firozpur district of Punjab to promote the use of Eichhornia for making handicrafts. And Kapra Lake in Hyderabad was used accelerated anaerobic composting technology. In Hyderabad, from Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Dr. Gangani Rao, what they did, they implemented this technology for the first time to clean hyacinth, means water hyacinth from the lake. And what they did, they utilized Eichhornia plant for preparing very good quality of organic fertilizer. Besides this, a team of scientists, they produced cellulase enzyme, which is meant for the degradation of cellulose from different types of plants. And particularly, they used the cellulase enzyme for making the bedding material so as to cultivate different types of mushroom. As you can see in the slide, oyster mushroom, pink mushroom, and white elm oyster mushroom was grown by using the beds which have been prepared from the cellulase obtained from Eichhornia. And from water hyacinth leaf, the people they had been, as my earlier speaker told, that they had been making disposable plates, ready to plant biodegradable nursery pots, egg and fruit trays, carton models, so and so. Schwabe India has also identified the chemical, medicinal plants, medicinal content, phytochemicals which are present in Eichhornia, and they prepared a drug which is used to stimulate pancreatic enzyme and overcome the deficiency of pancreatic enzymes. Another is Parthenium hysterophorus, which is also called as Congress grass. Everybody is knowing in my university, there was a campaign to, and the students were taken to the field to dig it out from the root, and this Parthenium hysterophorus was collected and was burned at one side. So burning of Parthenium hysterophorus is not a remedy, because the students who were working on them, they became allergic, and finally they developed different types of diseases. This Parthenium hysterophorus, you can see that these are the plants which are usually grown just as a wild plant. And the most important threat is that these are non-palatable plants. They can be grown voluntarily or involuntarily into the cropped and non-cropped area. It is an environmental weed which can replace the normal vegetable from the soil. And it is a big threat to the biodiversity. The most important application which I want to emphasize is its antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, antithelmatic, anti-inflammatory properties. So this particular plant, despite being a noxious weed, can be utilized for making pharmaceutical drugs either through homeopath or through Ayurveda or any other system of medicine. It can be treated, it can be used for the treatment of wounds, ulcerated sores, fever, anemia, heart problems, malaria, so and so. And much research and development activities are required. It can be used for bioremediation of lead and nickel. It is also very important, like Icornia, that it can undertake phytoremediation. And phytoremediation is a big problem. While going as a Director General nominee of CSIR to National Metallurgical Laboratory in Jamshedpur, I suggested that why don't they develop a type of sensor which can identify that which type of metals are submerged in the water system or they are embedded in the soil system, so that we can identify that where these particular type of heavy metals are residing, so that we can use phytoremediation techniques, or we can dig them out, or we can take out from the soil through plant bioremediation, and you can utilize those chemicals to form certain other types of things. So they appreciated and included it in the proceedings of their meeting. Now we come to the most important plant, that is Lantana camara, which is also called as Raimunia, as you can see in the slide. It's containing beautiful flowers, multicolored flowers, because of which most of the people, they get tempted and start growing them in the kitchen gardens or outside their kitchen gardens. Especially this particular plant is very important as an ornamental plant because of its multicolored flowers, as Dr. Manivel has already described in his presentation. It has got the clustered flowering system. And in that cluster, different types of flowers or similar color of flowers are found. Lantana camara was a native of Central and South America, and later on, by and by, it spread from one country to another. And now in the Asian and European countries, it has dominated and is now called as a notorious weed or a noxious weed. The most important threat of Lantana camara is that it outcompetes the native species. Means it has an annulopathic effect. It undergoes under soil competition with one plant to another. Means it develops certain types of food, and from the root it secretes certain types of chemical exudates. Because of those exudates, the native plants, say for example rice, wheat, or any other crop plant, any other grain crop plants which are growing nearby, they fail to grow, their roots are destroyed, their roots are damaged, and ultimately the entire crop of importance is lost. Therefore, it is called as a notorious weed, because if it is growing nearby the crop area or nearby the cereal crop area, then it ultimately try to replace that native crop and overcome or over dominate the entire field, so that our crop is lost. The most important threat, beside being biodiversity, was identified by Dr. Prabhu Genniger, who is an entomologist. And I was talking, while talking to Dr. Moni, that there was a bug which was called as Lantana bug. And Dr. Prabhu, he submitted a proposal, as you can see, to the government of India, so that this Mexican bug, the propagation of the Mexican bug can be initiated, so that in larger number this maximum bug can be developed and it can be left along with the Lantana area, so that it can consume on the trunks of Lantana camara plant, and finally it can be destroyed, and the annulopathic effect of the plant can be stopped. Now you can see these are different types of bugs which have been identified, which just feed upon the Lantana stem, and these bugs, they destroy the entire Lantana plant. Because if we are using some pesticides or weedicides or certain other chemicals, simultaneously they have got two types of effects. One thing, that excessive weedicides, they can add to the pollution to the soil, or they can destroy the fertility of the soil. They can be deposited in the soil, can settle down, and can affect the under soil water layers or under soil water or the soil moisture. Secondly, that they can also kill the crop plants for which we are focusing upon, and we are trying to remove lantana through lantana bug. Now, the most important applications, as Dr. Saurabh has also told, she had been doing excellent work at her KVK because she has developed a self-help group, and with the help of this self-help group, she is not only training the communities of the nearby areas, poor communities, but rather she is also helping them to earn money. So similar type of activities are being done by different groups. Lantana camara parts, they are used in making termite resistant furniture, because the termites normally Dalbergia shisho or shisham, as you all know, they are very prone to termites, and we are always in need of certain gymnosperms like Deodar, which is called as Cedar Deodara, because all the gymnosperms, 3 gymnosperms, they contain resin canals in them, and because of the resin flow from right tail to top, the termites do not attack on these plants. Therefore, the gymnosperms plant, they are supposed to be the best termite resistant plant. But the gymnosperms, they are also becoming endangered, and we are having very few areas where excessive growth of gymnosperm is being carried out. So we have to identify such type of plants like lantana so that we can solve two purposes at one time. We can remove lantana from the field as a noxious weed. Secondly, we can use it for making termite resistant furniture instead of consuming the gymnospermous plants. The small twigs and stems of lantana, they are used as fuel by the tribal communities. That is the routine practice by them. Lantana camara has got therapeutic use, as has already been discussed by other fellow scientists. It has got antimicrobial, fungicidal, insecticidal, nematicidal, and biocidal activities. The biocidal activity is very important because if this particular plant is producing biocide, then it can be used as an alternate for pesticide and for other different types of herbicides. Nematicidal activity is not good because it destroys the nematodes which are present in the soil and which are leading to the fertility of the soil. So destroying nematode is one thing, as I told, that if lantana camara is growing in a field, then it can destroy the nematodes, which leads into the loss of fertility of the soil. So its nematicidal property is one important property because of which lantana camara has become a noxious weed. Lantana oil is also used in different treatments for leprosy and scabies. It has got anti-cancer, antibacterial, anti-diabetic property. The essential oil obtained from lantana camara leaves through stem distillation has adulticidal activity against mosquito. This is another very important activity which can be taken over because mosquito is a vector for carrying dengue virus, for carrying different types of chikungunya, for carrying other types of viruses, because it is a very important vector and it does not multiply, it does not affect the mosquito, but rather mosquito help in transferring this particular type of virus from one individual to another. So if the lantana oil is used, it can kill the mosquito larvae, and at that mosquito larvae, or by killing mosquito larvae, we can prevent the multiplication of mosquito. I was going through a report where mosquito, they were made rather potent, and their impotency, from potency to impotency, was being created into mosquito so that they cannot multiply and further mosquito they cannot be developed. But making them impotent will be very harmful as far as biodiversity is concerned, because even the smallest animal, smallest insect has got the role in biodiversity. They help in carrying out the cycle of biodiversity. So if we kill the mosquito at larval stage by using essential oil. It will be a good practice. Lantana camera has 35.03% hollow cellulose and lignin it has, which can be used for paper making, and it can be used by the tribal communities for making paper, because at the moment we are cutting forests for making paper, and that is a big hazard as far as our forest conservation is concerned, our biodiversity is concerned, and our environment is concerned. So if we utilize the hollow cellulose and lignin present in Lantana camera plant, which is in good quantity, then we can make paper out of Lantana camera plant, and we can help in dual way for making paper instead of cutting trees. Lantana camera is also being used for vermicomposting with the help of earthworm, which we practice in agriculture universities. By using these worms, we make compost from the organic matter or from the tree waste. So this vermicomposting can be done by using Lantana camera plant. In metal polluted countries, there are certain countries where there is a lot of metal pollution. Heavy metals are either submerged in the soil or they are present in the soil, and there is no agriculture, particularly in many continents of Africa. This type of practice is there, and they are not able to grow crop yield. So this weed is used in phytoextraction of heavy metal. Just like Icornia, I told that this lantana can also extract heavy metals from the soil, particularly lead, and it can help in phytoremediation. Now I would focus on one activity of Team Jijira. Team Jijira, it is a team of explorers which identified in there is the Lantana camera is very helpful in cross pollination, because there are many beetles or many insects which just feed upon lantana, and they transfer the pollen grains from one plant to another, and the cross pollination is carried out. This team Jijira is also working. They have also identified one very good quality of cumin. This haldi, you can say, curcumin that is containing a very good quality of curcumin, and because of that curcumin, they are posing that is curcumin found in Meghalaya is the best world. Now you can see like self-help group in Melghat villagers, they are making money out of lantana weed. So there is a Melghat tiger reserve where the villagers they use branches of lantana. As Dr. Saurabh told that we are having bushy lantana, they are having tree type of lantana, where the tree lantana has got sufficient amount of wood which can be utilized in making furniture. But with the help of a bushy lantana, we can make a small type of furniture, as she has just told, pen stand or something like that. So the villagers, they are making small furnitures in Meghalaya, and they are particularly in Melghat village, and they are earning money out of that. This is called as lantana craft. You can see in the picture. Here there is a self-help group which is training the ladies to make different types of material, different type of furniture, which is termite resistant and is durable, as has already been told that the buttons which have been prepared at her self-help group in Sitapur. Similarly, the plants over here, they are also termite resistant and they are very durable. So with this, I conclude and I thank the organizers for providing me an opportunity to speak on the noxious weeds. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Bhatnagar, for your very important address to the audience. You talked about that, how from three plants, which we considered as a nuisance value, that you talked about how we can, get commodity values, monetary values from water hyacinth, athenium, and now with Rhizonium, that is that lantana camera. And you said that it can be used for making termite resistant furnitures and therapeutic uses, and also used for oil and paper making, vermicomposting, phyto extraction, and so on and so forth. These are all very areas which has to be explored, and maybe some pilot projects, maybe some activities may be going on in some parts of the country, parts of the world. But today, through your lecture, through your address, you are giving some sort of an scientific discovery has to be made for this area, and we are very happy that you are able to come out with very important action points for the academicians, research scientists, and students, and also NGOs, self-help groups, and extension, program scientists, and so on and so forth, to work in this plant, which is very important, which is readily available, and you have done very nicely for the topic, the title which you have taken, from nuisance to prosperity, a toxic weed. No, thank you, Professor Bhatnagar, and we will be very, we'll be, very happy to associate you, further to make a lot of value-added projects, out of research programs and competence building and capacity building with respect to this plant. Thank you very much for spending time today with us, and you're the initial problem, but you are able to come back with your full vigor to present in this national webinar. Thank you, Professor Bhatnagar.